Tutorial video on pattern network address translation overloading by Indian Cybersecurity Solutions.
Hello everybody, my name is Subhashish Roy. I'm the Senior Network Trainer as well as Cisco Networking Specialist at the Indian Cybersecurity Solutions. These are my contact information for LinkedIn and Twitter so that you can contact me. Today I'm going to discuss about PAT, Port Address Translation, or NAT overloading. Now what is PAT? In PAT or NAT overloading, we see that it translates many private IP addresses to single public IP. So if you have only one single public IP for your router and you have many PCs, so you have many private IPs, so in that case you can use PAT or NAT overloading, and every private IP uses different source port number in order to avoid the IP address conflict. It is known as overloading, means you are actually loading more on the router. You are giving overload, means if you have only one public IP and over that you are giving load of lots of private IP. What are the advantages of PAT? You need to purchase only one public IP, so it is easy to maintain and easy to configure. Also, you do not have to purchase a lot of public IP pool, and definitely it will result in low cost because every public IP is costly. So if you purchase only one public IP, it will be very cheap for you. Now there is an example of PAT happening. You can see in router R1. In the Ethernet interface, there is a private IP 192.168.1.1 and the PCs are there 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and you can see in the public interface we have 67.2.10.97.1 public IP. So the router performing network address translation NAT is performing PAT actually. You can see the NAT translation table where it is showing the ICMP replies as 1.2, 1.3, 1.4 as the inside local IP, means a private IP, and it is using port numbers as 18, 19, 20 respectively, and it is translated to the inside global IP, means a public IP, but the public IP remains constant 67.2.10.97.1. So you have only one public IP and all the other private IPs are translated to the single public IP using different source port numbers. So this is an ideal example of PAT. So this is about the theory for PAT or NAT overloading, and now I'm going to show you in Cisco Packet Tracer in practice. So we have a topology here where you have three PCs, three laptops connected to this switch to this router, and the IP of this first NAT port is 10.0.0.1 and the serial port is 11.0.0.1, and the laptops are configured with the IP address also, like it is 10.0.0.2, this is 10.0.0.3 and this is 10.0.0.4. So this is 10.0.0.3 and this is 10.0.0.4. The routing is configured, the OSPF routing is configured. So actually these PCs will be able to communicate with this router serial port if we want to configure PAT. So let's configure PAT on this router 0. So on this NAT router, go to config mode and configure PAT. For configure PAT, just give this command IP NAT pool. The same way you configure the dynamic NAT, the first part is same for PAT also, and you give any pool name, say ICSS or any other name. If you have only one public IP, so give that public IP, say you have 11.0.0.10. This is the only public IP you have purchased from ISP. So this is your start public IP and this is the end public IP. So you write again this one 11.0.0.10 and give the subnet mask, net mask as the default mask. Configure and standard ACL 10.0.0.0. The Ethernet line you are permitting with the ACL. Give the wildcard mask and then IP NAT inside source list and the ACL number 1, and then the pool name, that is ICSS, and now you add a word overload. If you add this word, then it will result in PAT. If you do not add the overload word, it will be dynamic NAT. So you have to add the word overload. And then go to interface F0 by 0 and give IP NAT inside and interface serial 2 by 0 IP NAT outside. Now you see how the PAT works. Now go to each of the laptops and ping this port IP. Go to command prompt, ping 11002, the other router serial port, it is pinging. Go to this laptop, again you ping this IP 11002, it's pinging also, and from this laptop also you ping that 11002, it is pinging. So 3 laptops means 3 private IPs are pinging one IP of this router. So the PAT should happen. Now go to this router, Ctrl Z, and show IP NAT translations. And you can see 10002 private IP is translated to 110010. That is the inside global IP. 10003 is translated to 110010. And 10004 is translated to 110010. So the public IP is constant. So the inside global IP or the public IP is constant, that is 110010. And you can see it's taking different source port numbers here, 1024, 1025, 2627, and these source port numbers. So every time it's taking different source port numbers, but all the private IPs are translated to the single public IP, that's 110010. So that is PAT happening. So I hope you have understood this, and I have explained it in theory and also I have shown it practically. I hope it was informative for you also. So if you want more videos like this in future, then please like our channel on YouTube and also please subscribe our channel too. So that is for today. I'll come with some new topic some other day. Till then, it's goodbye.